get the show started!
In today's video, Daniel Cormier explains why MMA should not have open scoring, Beneil Dariush slams Charles Oliveira for pursuing fight against Conor McGregor, Mark Munoz fired from coaching position for letting students box to settle dispute, Rockhold reveals UFC will be monitoring Paulo Costa's weight leading up to their fight, and Bisping reacts to Usman saying that Colby Covington is the official gatekeeper at 170. Let's roll. Last weekend, Holly Holm faced Ketlen Vieira in the main event of UFC Vegas 55. The Brazilian wound up picking up the win via split decision, however the win itself was quite controversial as many fans believe that she lost the fight. Now, Daniel Cormier has expanded his thoughts on MMA judging on the DC and RC podcast. There, he once again echoed his sentiment that there has to be a change. However, he doesn't want that change to be open scoring. In this clip, he explains why.
For me personally, I think that it would add way too much safety to fighting, because I know this. Every time I fought, especially when I was in control of a fight, knowing that I won the 2 rounds, that 3rd round was always fairly safe. If I had definitive answer to whether or not I was up, done. I am going to take the most cautious approach to making sure I get my hand raised that I ever could. And I believe so many fighters would do exactly that. So regardless of if you have a fighter B behind 2 rounds to 0 and wants to engage, all you're going to see is more takedown attempts. All you're going to see is more clinching. All you're going to see is more safety. And that is where my biggest issue with open scoring comes about. I don't want to see...
I've seen it. I've seen it.
And you've called it, right? So you have an experience. Yeah. You experienced it. You experienced that idea of the safety, right?
Despite not being currently champion, Charles Oliveira has been granted the opportunity to fight for the title next. If the Brazilian has his way, he will face Conor McGregor in his return. The two men have traded words on social media regarding a possible fight. The talk of a Charles Oliveira vs Conor McGregor title fight doesn't sit well with Beneil Dariush. The lightweight contender discussed his frustration with Oliveira on the Writer vs. the Fighter podcast. He said, he's talking about wanting to fight Conor, and he talks about how these guys never gave him a shot when he was outside the top 5, blah blah blah. We were supposed to fight October of 2020. He pulled out of the fight, and then a couple months later, instead of fighting me, he fought Tony Ferguson. He said something about family issues, and I'm not going to say, oh, he didn't fight me. I can't believe it. I understand the media has their thing, the UFC has their part, but for him to be chasing a unicorn, it's super frustrating. There's 2 clear contenders in front of you, and you're trying to chase a unicorn. No one knows when Conor is going to fight again. The guy might not even fight this year. Make it make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Former UFC fighter Mark Munoz became the wrestling coach at Fairmont Private Schools in Anaheim, California in 2020. According to TMZ, the students got into an argument and then went to Munoz to ask if they could put in gloves and box to work out their issues. Mark allegedly allowed the scrap to happen. He believed the boxing match was more jovial than violent. One of the boys' parents, however, was not so jovial over hearing this. Here's an excerpt from TMZ. A school spokesperson declined to get into the specifics of the allegations against Munoz, but did confirm the coach has been placed on administrative leave through the end of this school year and will not have his contract picked up once it ends. He will not be returning to campus, the spokesperson said. Munoz was ranked as high as number 3 in the UFC middleweight division and was very close to a title fight. He fought the likes of Gegard Mousasi, Chris Weidman, Lyoto Machida, Damian Maia, and Chris Lieben. Luke Rockhold and Paulo Costa are set to clash in a middleweight bout on July 30th at UFC 277 in Dallas, Texas. In a recent interview with the Schmo, Rockhold revealed that the UFC will regularly keep an eye on Costa's weight to make sure that the Brazilian makes the 185-pound limit. There's no little insight, there's nothing to that. The UFC will be monitoring his weight weekly and will be dancing at a proper weight. If he can't make the weight, there will be a transition, I'm sure, at some point. Also, according to Rockhold, Costa is trying to move the fight to August. Paulo Costa is pathetic, and the kid needs to sign the contract and agree to the weight. Agree to the fight, agree to the date, agree to the dance and blows kiss. Let's go. This is trying to move it to August. I'm sick and tired of just this shit, but I really want to beat that his ass, so we're going to August it is. Costa was already made a by Adesanya, and we're going to make him a times 2. Recently, Kamaru Usman made some comments about Colby Covington, saying that Chaos is now the official gatekeeper at 170 pounds after losing to him twice. Speaking on the most recent episode of Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping reacted to Usman's comments about Covington and shared his thoughts on a potential bout between Dustin Poirier and Colby. Here's the clip.
So I understand why Kamaru would say that, because of course, in terms of rankings, in terms of succession, that's how it should work. But I don't know if it should. I don't know if it should, because if Colby is the next best person, let's just assume that he is, right? I'm not saying that he is before you people start, but let's assume that he is. If he continues to beat them, well, that just means it's going to be Colby and Kamaru all the time, Colby and Kamaru. Whereas it's the champion's job to turn away the contenders. It's not the number one contender's job to turn away the contenders. You know what I mean? It's the champion's job to defeat all the people in the division. Listen, Colby's fantastic and he's clearly the next best, but there's still a lot of people that he has to fight. I know he was calling out Dustin Poirier and there was a potential of that fight happening. I'm not a fan of that for either man. You know, for Colby Covington, it could be a great win over a big name and keeps him in the public eye, get him back to winning ways and earn some money. And of course, that's what we're all here for. And I understand that. However, it's a win over a lightweight. Thanks, babe. For Dustin Poirier, it would be I admire him for going up there and fighting him. It's a fight that I think he would struggle with, if I'm honest, stylistically, but you never know. You never know. But again, what does that do for him if he wins at welterweight? You know, he's focused on becoming lightweight champion of the world.
Here are the top 3 memes you guys posted on MMAmemes.com. In third place is a meme posted by user John Head. Second place goes to Milena. And the number 1 voted meme was posted by a user named Chuck Norris. If you want your meme to be included in our next video, go to MMAmemes.com and create your own meme. The top 3 memes will be placed at the end of our video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.